Hey, it's Tomi, the guys with the five eyes that you see, and I didn't say that correctly. But so today's video, which is also a double header today, because I have an upload in a couple months. I talked about Kevin Samuels um in the first video, but this is gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be longer or stuff. It just seems like I'm the kind of guy that talks 30 minutes to an hour. But in this video, this is going to be a really important think piece from me, and I'm like Red Supreme. I come with, I come with my stuff straight off the dome, so it gets to yo's and yo mama's home. I don't know, when in Rome. But today, on this video, I wanted to talk about how black people will miss the opportunity on cryptocurrency. Most of us. I made a couple videos on my channel, and if you're listening to this for the first time, or you just discovered my channel, or you're a friend I just shared it with, go check out some of those other videos. They're pretty nice, informative videos. I've been telling people to buy Bitcoin on here for a couple months, and when you look at those videos, pay attention to the price because you will see a much lower price than here at 44,000. And currently, I'm heavily invested in Bitcoin. That's where most of my investment is. And then my next biggest investment is Ethereum. Next biggest investment is Cardano, and then my next is VeChain. Um, I'm looking at other options lately. I'm definitely looking in Chainlink. And where's Polkadot? Well, definitely Chainlink, Stellar. And I don't know where Polkadot is in on here, so I guess it's not on here. But those are the other three cryptocurrencies I plan to probably get some kind of investment in the future. I don't know when. Either way, and I've been saying that cryptocurrency could be very crucial to black people getting a better financial standing in this country and in this world because cryptocurrency, I'm not even going to say just crypto. I'm going to say the crypto space because it's really not, most of this stuff isn't just simply currency in the first place. So the crypto space is here, and it will provide chances for a lot of people that understand what it is to essentially be the new financial elite, the new financial middle class, all kinds of stuff. But unfortunately, I've kind of come to the conclusion that black people will miss out on this opportunity, the majority of us. Now, why do I think this? Well, in the first place, I had to realize that most black people are not financially literate and don't have a lot of financial education. The other thing I understood about this is black people have horrible relationships with each other, and until we could really get over that with each other, it's going to be hard for many of them to even focus on things like finance, even though being together is what increases your finance in the first place. Now, if you look at the marital status or martial, however you like pronounce it, of African American people, you would see here that says like here, no, up here, 29% as of 2016. It could be updated. Of Africans were married compared to 48% of all Americans, and half of us have never been married compared to 33% of all Americans. You see here, African American men have a higher rate of being married compared to women, drastically lower than everybody else. We also have a lower rate of divorce. It's actually our divorce rate is lower than the average divorce rate, which also lets you know that it was seeing most African American men tend to get in relationships that they stay in, and women tend to be in relationships that don't work out. And if you really think about it, because women have a higher divorce rate, it brings our divorce rate as a whole higher than everyone else's. So theirs was just a bit lower. It would be average. Um, so widowed and separated. I guess separated goes into this. Less of us separated, but it seems like that's the average, and which is kind of confusing. I wonder how these play into each other. But most men, now look at here, like it's really ironic because of that divorce ratio. Most women, there are less women that have never been married than men. Nah, I guess no. What, that doesn't make any sense. It's kind of confusing. Either way, I'm not about to go into all that. You can take it as what you will. But clearly, you can see from that that black people really just don't get married and we don't have good relationships with each other. Um, look at all them tattoos. As you can see in the black community, if you look up on YouTube, there's almost like this societal war black men and women are kind of having with each other, and it comes from, I mean, honestly, the fact that black people, our leaders tend to be entertainers and athletes or people that have a lot of hot takes, and the fact that we are all, not all of us, but most of us are raised by women. Not to take the fact that women can be great people, but in order to have a strong society, you must have men at the top of the hierarchy and you must have men as leaders because that is what we are built for. The world today is as it is because men built it. And that's just a fact, you know. I'm not saying it because I feel that, but that's just a fact. I've shown this before in another video, and I'll show it again if I have to. If you look at the poverty rate, black people are usually in poverty more than white people. So when the economy does bad, we do worse. And it just goes for basically every age range too. And it's substantially high under 18. And most people live with their parents under 18. So this means that a lot of black people, 32% of us, 32% of the ones under 18 around like now are coming from poor households. And it changes as they get older because then once you're 18 and stuff, you get out, you probably live on your own and you kind of get out that poverty range because, you know, if you're earning like 20, even if you're earning $24,000 per year, if you're single with no children, that doesn't qualify as poverty. It's like lower class, but not lower class, lower income. But poverty is when you're earning like 12 or more, I mean 12 or whatever. But that's also just raw like income. So I wouldn't count for that because my Bitcoin it's been doing really well. Um, but they make it a point to put that out here. The black poverty rate for females with no spouse is higher than other females with spouses, and I would also say also females with spouses that are like black, because as you see here, female with no spouse is 30, but then when they do have, you know, when they are couples, you know, 6.7%, you know, or and look at the rate here when families are in poverty, when it's just them, you know, I guess the whole family and everyone tends to be more grown or whatever. The rate goes up when the children are younger because children require so many resources. Um, so that's also why you see here with married couples with children it goes up. Basically, what this chart is showing that for many of our poor black people, when they have children, or the ones with children, kind of already, their poverty rates go up. You see here. So what can we assume from this? Barring married couples, if we focus mainly on females, and I don't know why they don't have males with no spouse here, but I guess it's more of a detriment here. People when they're in poverty and they have children, they're only making their poverty worse. What I deduct from that is that there are a lot of people out there having children at a time where they can't provide for children. Not saying that they shouldn't have children, because you can have kids whenever you feel like it because you are made to have children. But at the same time, if you have kids and you're not in the best position to give them a better life, that's kind of a selfish decision, and it's either a selfish decision or it was truly a mistake. And you can call it a blessing all you want, but blessings tend to be things that, you know, those tend to be good things that happen, not you getting more poor, having to allocate even more resources to a child. So from there you can understand that black people are poor for the most part. Not for the most part, but a large sum of black people are poor. And actually, when you see those numbers, they are higher because they get their numbers mainly from like government. And the government tends to underreport a lot of things. They tend to underreport poverty. They tend to underreport unemployment percentages. So honestly, when you see that females with like for example, when you see uh females with no spouse and with children under 18 at 39, you got to bump that up to probably like 45, and this is probably 35 to 40, you know. So really, yes, we're almost at we may even be at the point where maybe half of black people are poor. Um and I just have to understand that even the ones that are not poor, like a lot of my friends and people I know, they're not going to buy into cryptos because they either come from poor backgrounds or a lot of their family has like a poverty background. And it's sad because there's so much to gain in the crypto market because this is disruptive technology. We've got Ethereum basically being the internet of the crypto space, Bitcoin being the crypto gold of the internet space, and then we have things like Cardano, Chainlink, and Polkadot building off of Ethereum, providing decentralized finance solutions. And you see here, but Cardano is attacking the African market. They are going to attack that market heavy because they're in Africa, and there's a lot of I would say, Africa has a lot of communities, countries, cities that are transitioning from like first, second world to no, not third. No, I'm going opposite. They're transitioning from third world to second world, from second world to first world. There's a lot of development in Africa, and that's why you see with Cardano. I'm not going to explain it all because that's not the focus of this video, but that's just an example of what I'm giving you. That's why I'm so heavily invested in Cardano, because it's kind of funny. We all love to talk about African brothers and sisters and stuff. Here you have a crypto that is going to basically provide many people in that country with a way of financing themselves, but you're not getting involved with it. So what's all that speak? What are you doing? Because like I know for me, when I put my Cardano in my Cardano staking pool and I stake my Cardano and I participate. I don't think I've participated yet, but when I'm participating in voting for the governance of how the network and the project is works and affected, it's going to affect the people over there. I'm participating in because they're striking a deal with Ethiopia right now, a government deal. I am participating in helping that. And you know what's funny? A lot of people, like a lot of Ethiopians, actually assume I am Ethiopian. So there could be a chance that might be where my direct lineage is from. So I'm doing my part in spreading my influence and putting some of my own little power and help into that country over there in Africa and everything like that. These are the kind of things that cryptocurrencies can provide for us as people. The crypto space, the decentralized finance space allows for the common man and woman to participate in financial endeavors and other endeavors with each other directly without needing to use centralized sources to dictate and govern everything that we do. That's amazing. Like that's essentially how the days of we're with this, what we're doing, right? We're going back to the days of really like bartering, not completely, but like back and during times where like if you have something valuable, you can get something valuable from somebody else. When people, I've got my cows and sheep, and I give these to you for some of this land over here and stuff. Now we develop currencies that make that easier, but the issues with a lot of like currencies, fiat, is that it's so easy to make a lot of them, like coins that aren't really silver, like copper coins or paper certificates, that when you decide, let's say your central bank or whoever is in control of the printing decides not to back it to actual things of value, that tie its value to it, you can just print the shit and keep making infinite amounts of it, and then it becomes valueless and you destroy the currency, which ends up destroying the country, and then people either have to wait it out and you have to restart, or people would just abandon the place and then you just destroyed everything everybody had there. you know and America is about to reset the whole world. Essentially, they call it the Great Reset, and that's the thing that black people aren't aware of, and that's the thing they also don't understand, is that when they do this reset, you're still going to be at the bottom of the totem pole because you guys are not involved in this. And I'm not saying you're bad people or you're stupid for not getting into crypto, but I mean, to be very honest, I will say that you're being pretty ignorant and naive, because you have to understand that you're not going to be getting paid in dollars forever. That's where the world is going. You know, a lot of people, black people, we are very obsessed with getting money. We are obsessed with money, period. Like, when we don't have it, we need it. When we have it, we need more. When we get more, we need to spend it. You know, we're very obsessed with money. And it's not money. We're obsessed with fiat. And one of the biggest issues that I just don't understand, like, we have such an obsession with fiat, but now its replacement is coming. You know, its replacement is here, and we aren't getting involved with it. You know, and at this point, Bitcoin is not it's not niche anymore. It is mainstream. You can easily obtain Bitcoin through Coinbase, Cashapp. You know, like, I'm surprised that like black people love Cash App. They love it. I used to not like Cash App. I used to want to use PayPal, but you know, Cash App is easy. They love Cash App. Most people I see with a Cash App card are black. I have a Cash App card. Niggas love Cash App, and they let you buy Bitcoin, and you're buying real Bitcoin because Square, the company, buys Bitcoin. So you get, it's not no paper Bitcoin like Robinhood. You get natural Bitcoin. I will not understand that even with Bitcoin being on one of the most popular payment services apps for black people, they are literally giving you a chance to buy it. It's the easiest way to buy Bitcoin. We still don't buy Bitcoin. You know, and at this point, if you don't have a lot of money, of course, Bitcoin is going to make you the kind of gains it could in the past. But to me, you should still buy it because it's a better savings vehicle than just having your money in the bank. And even if you can't profit a lot off of Bitcoin, the way Bitcoin's trajectory is going, if you put your savings in Bitcoin, it is there's going to be volatility, but your the value of your money is going to increase because Bitcoin is increasing. So there's that. But you know, there are other, and I also do understand that things like Ethereum and Polkadot and stuff, that's kind of deep. That's kind of deep for even the average person to really get into with Bitcoin. But I will also say Ethereum is, you know, something also to get into because it is the internet of things of the crypto space, and everybody loves the internet. We all use TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and stuff like that. People don't understand that Ethereum is the leeway to that. It's the protocol, the same way we have the internet's protocol, and then we have Wi-Fi and stuff, and then you put those together on phones and we access this stuff everywhere, and then people develop apps and websites. That's the same thing going on with Ethereum. You know, um and this is kind of horrible because the thing that really sucks is that black people have been doing a good job getting themselves out of extreme poverty. You know, like, because poverty rates used to be pretty bad uh in the last, you know, the last century, and because of the way this government is running, it's been forcing our poverty up. But at the same time, though, like, we are contributing to that because we think it's okay to solely just get a job to work and save, and then all of a sudden you get a house and family and everything like that. We have an antiquity, I don't know. we, I'm trying to say the word. We have like a old mindset of how money works and how we can basically develop our future. Because if you ask most black people, especially older ones, but if you ask like the average black person, how do you, like, what's the way to a better future? What would you do? Um, get my education, get a job, and then I save my money, and then, you know, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. That's a cack way to say it. Get an education, just get a regular job, or whatever job you get, which education, save money, buy a house, and that's it. And honestly, that's not going to be the way for many black people. to get to whatchamacallit, financial prosperity, because in this country there are two things that go against that. The housing market is ridiculous, and it's over leveraged and it's overpriced. So buying homes, you know, for a lot of people, it's not the best thing to do. And then also the price of education has skyrocketed. So going to school is very risky for a lot of people. And then also you have to put into the fact that inflation is destroying the value of the dollar second by second by second. And when we get this stimulus, it's going to be even more devalued. So think about it. Black people, for the most part, black people think the way to prosperity is going to school, getting a job, buying a house, and saving money. And all three of those things are not viable anymore. But black people don't really think of solutions to that. The way black people think, we're a lot of us, I'm just being honest, we can be very hard headed. We just think, okay, well, just gonna keep working harder. I'll work extra jobs. I'll work this, and that's not the way. Of course, that can be the way to get you. You gotta work hard. You gotta be motivated. But like, we work hard for no reason though. We work hard just to get money that gets devalued. So we're working harder for less. We're essentially turning ourselves back into slaves. And that's why like crypto is just it's an important asset class. It's an important industry sector fine for us to be in. But I think I might have to accept that black people will not invest into crypto. They'll get paid in crypto, but they'll get swept up by the market. The market is going to control them. We're not going to have influence in the market. So this video is not really a video about anything positive. If anything, it's a rant. And I'm just kind of sad because it's like I don't know why black people are so afraid of change. I don't know why it's like black people are like, I don't know why like we're so afraid. Like, black people find it easier to have, like, it's easier for black people to have babies than get married. It's easier for black people to have babies and than to invest and stuff like that. It's just like the bar that we set for ourselves is so low. It's so incredibly low. Like our standards, like, and I honestly, I don't want to say our standards. The majority of us are standards, because I'm at that point now where my association with the rest of my fellow black people, I only really associate myself with black people that want to do better. Like that class of black people that will take advantage of the Great Reset instead of being a part of it. You know, we don't want to be in the Great Reset. We want to mold it because it's happening. The wheel's already turning. I don't want to be in the wheel, or I don't want to get run over. I want to push the wheel, because if this is what it's going to be, then I got to adapt and I got to change with the times. Black people have the hardest thing changing with the times. The only thing we've been doing now for the past couple of decades has just been trend setting, but that's it. Like, we made hip hop, okay, and then we make a lot of social apps popular, like Clubhouse and stuff, okay, but what do we really do that provides any kind of like change for us positively? Nothing much. And um I don't know. It's just it's kind of sad. That's the way it's gonna be. But for anybody like that's watching this, like I do implore you, you must get into crypto. You must. You have to. You have to, because this is the future of finance, and this is going to be what the world moves into going forward. Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. I think Square is getting close to a billion. There are companies that are buying Bitcoin up so much that to the point that I think most of the Bitcoin they're getting at this point is just like paper Bitcoin, because there can only be 21 million minted, and we already are at 18 million, and the rest are getting minted, like they're getting halved like for every block. So now we're only at 6 per block. Now it's going to get to 3 up until the last one in 2104. which if you think about in the grand scheme of looking at world issues and how things develop, that's basically a very short time from now. And these companies have basically bought up almost everything. Uh, what that lets you know is that they're going to be the ones dictating things in many parts of the space, not all of the space, because that's just not possible. But they are going, when it comes to Bitcoin's price and its value, they're in control of it now. They are in control of it now, and they want it to increase. So it's going to increase, and many black people are just going to be left behind. And I can't be mad at that because we've already been placed in a position where many of us don't have the resources nor the knowledge for that. But again, that's where I draw another issue though. That's why I made the point that it's easier for us to have babies than to literally improve our lives. Um, I don't want to be mean and pointed out there. I'll just say like I've known some girls where literally I met them, I've seen them, and it's like blah blah friends, and all of a sudden pregnancy is coming out of nowhere. And the thing that just drives me crazy is these girls will get pregnant, and either the guy is not there, or it's a guy that they constantly have problems and issues with. And it's just like you're not doing your child a service having like birthing them into this world without birthing them into like a loving immediate family unit, or birthing them into an environment where they don't have to worry about their own safety at every age of their life, every point in their life. You know, and it drives me crazy. It just drives me crazy that we do that. Because you've seen from the charts, when we have children and we're not in a position where we're doing better for ourselves and can do better for our children, we end up in a worse position. Like I know for me with crypto, like listen guys, I don't work nearly as hard as any of you guys anymore. Any of you, for the most part. I work 3 days a week. With my crypto investments, literally, I can take my small paycheck and I have been doubling, tripling, quadrupling, sextupling like my paychecks. I got into NBA Top Shot. I ended up in a precarious position where I couldn't work for about a week or so. And on NBA Top Shot, the market blew up in that month. I make $1,200 a month. I literally made what I make in a month within a few days up on NBA Top Shot because I had invested a couple months before. That this crypto space is so big and so young that there's big money and a lot of small things that you can afford. That's the thing. Of course you got to do your own research and look it up. But there is like the way the crypto space is, there are a lot of things that are going to be here in the future, here to stay, that you can invest in with a small amount of capital to have huge gains. Like Stellar, like Cardano. You see here, Cardano, when I first started investing in the Cardano, it was only around 9 cents. And I just kept investing. And now I've got a big profit margins with Bitcoin. Again, I've been investing since it was 3K. Ethereum, I sold it too early last year, but again, I've been investing in that since it was a couple $100. You know, and because of my investments last year, I decided to stop working full time because I didn't need to. Now I have more time to focus on doing this. I have more time to focus on making music. I have more time to focus on my fiance and being with her, and focus on my wedding. And I can afford things now because I have crypto to thank for that. I have gains that I can use. I can use my profit to afford things, even though I'm still pretty stingy with it because I want all my profit. I'm selfish. But I just, I want black people so bad to experience what's going on right now in this place. Like, I just want us to, because undergone so much, undergone so much turmoil. We've had to deal with, because, the thing is, it's like black people, we're very smart. Like, and we know, like, if you give, like, there's a reason why they say if you give a nigga an inch, he'll take a mile. Because we won't just take that mile. We'll take the whole stretch of land. We'll take acres. because black people, we're strong people, coming from where we come from. Like, when we work together, we work better than anybody else. And we did that a lot in the 20th century. But it's every time we like a Black Wall Street, or we had leaders that would tell us to be at peace with one another, like Malcolm and and uh and Martin Luther King. Shit, Malcolm's last words were like, "This is a place of peace, brothers." Literally, the last words out of his mouth were "brothers" and "peace." You know, and he died. We get all that taken away from us with cryptocurrency. They won't be able to take this away from us because they can't take it away from anybody else. And man, dog, it just, the fact that many of us are going to miss this opportunity is just, I guess that's just the way it's gonna be. I can't be too upset about it, because I've got to do what's right for my family. I got to do what's good for my family. And I implore you guys to do the right thing yourselves. It may seem kind of like I'm not a financial advisor. Ha, YouTube can't get me for that one. And I know it's cryptocurrencies can be investments and they can be risky, but that's another thing black people I need to understand. That, like, see, black people, we become so lackadaisical now in a society where things are so much more accessible and easier to have. We got restaurants and cell phones that Uber things to us. Black people are afraid of taking risks. You know, like back in the 20th century and stuff, we took more risks. That's why, like, Wall Street, Black Wall Street, and all that. We knew what could happen when we became successful, and unfortunately, those things didn't happen. That didn't stop them though. Like, I talked to a lot of black people, and um, they're like, when they think about Bitcoin or they think about other things, if it's not the stock market or like housing, real estate, they just think there's just like too much risk to try things. We want to do things the safe way. Like, we have to stop getting in our minds that we are going to get rich doing the safe thing. You know, that's why I like a lot of rappers. These dudes all just rap like each other because they just want to piggyback off each other and get success off of what they're doing. That's just like one example. And then when it comes to like relationships, like a lot of men think going completely red pill is going to get them a lot of women, when it's not. It really depends on your game and your personality and the woman that you speak to, period. Because women generally too tend to act the same way, but there's still billions of women out there, so you have to take that information with a grain of salt, and you can't apply every single thing that the red pill says about women to every single woman. And even then, on the women's side, a lot of women are conformist to whatever is going on in society. A lot of women are conformist to what society deems is important or essential or whatever, and they just tend to follow that. And when society spits them out, chews them out, like for example in education, leaves them with debt, they have to basically lie to themselves to deal with the mistake that they just made, because they wanted, they just thought just going to school was just going to solve everything, and then having a career, and then it's like, okay, now I can get married. Who wants to marry me? And then it's like, oh, biology, yada yada yada. Black people, just, we gotta stop trying to take the easy way out to get like things we dream of or everything we want. And even when we do get it, we can't waste those opportunities. Just looking at Bitcoin now, I know you guys, if you paid attention, right? You literally just saw it go from 44 500 something up $400. You know, that's how volatile Bitcoin is. But at the same time, that's the lovely thing about it, that now it's been flourishing. It's in its price discovery mode, and literally, it could just, the way it can increase. It's just like, just, I've never, like, the way my money is just like growing. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's the most, I have never felt a euphoria like this. It is euphoria. Like when I used to I used to partake into some mushrooms of certain kinds. Um, I would feel amazing. This crypto stuff is making me feel the exact same thing. It is quite simply an amazing experience. And most of us are not going to enjoy that. So, anyways, I don't want this to be quite a 40-minute episode. But here's my closing statements. If you're a black person watching this, you have to get into crypto. And the only reason I'm saying that is, again, like I've said, the world is resetting and crypto is going to be at the start of that reset. You will be living in a world where, because everyone has ease of access to cell phones, cellular devices, you will no longer use cash. You would use your credit card and you would use your phone and computer to make purchases. If you really think about it, cash is pointless. Like physical cash, that's pointless. When you have a card that could hold your account and hold all your cash on that card, there really is no point. And for vendors and stuff, it's good to take the cash, but if you don't have items that accessibly let people use their cards or their phones to pay for things, you will be wiped out. Okay? Because a Square chip reader is like $20. You plug it up in your phone, it's that easy. You don't even need a cash register. You don't need to pay for cash registers. You don't need to pay for those expensive, like, I don't know what they're called, point of sale systems and the things that when they put the card in and it uploads to the Visa network or whatever. You don't need those things anymore. You don't need them. To start it has never been cheaper to start a business. And with cryptocurrency, it's even cheaper. Just saying. And more profitable. So, that's the future. And many black people do not understand this. And if you are one of those black people that does not understand this, you will be left behind. You will stay at the bottom of the totem pole. I know for me, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you the truth. With my involvement in cryptocurrency and my continued involvement, I will climb that ladder. I'm climbing it right now without even working that hard. That's the kind of opportunity crypto has provided for me, and it can provide for you. But you have to understand the risk, and then you have to take that risk. And then, honestly, you have to really think about it. Like, how much more risky can, like, the solid projects be in the crypto space if the Great Reset is going to make that the foundation for how the world moves forward financially and society, socially in the future? How much of a risk really is it? Think about that. Think about it. I just want what's best for black people. And I want what's best for you guys. So anyways, that's been my little mini rant. I hope you're having a great day. And also, to close this off, I'm going to give you my 10 crypto buys. I'm not going to go too much in an explanation of this. Because that will take a whole nother video. And honestly, I'm still learning myself. But here are my 10 crypto buys. Number 1, in no specific order, 1 Bitcoin. Number 2, Ethereum. 3, Stellar. 4, Cardano. 5, Chainlink. Again, I want to see it on here. I don't see it. But 6, Monero. 7, Polkadot. For number 8, and this way gets kind of hard for me because I haven't really thought too much about things into the future. But for number 8, I actually would suggest Pax Gold. It's tied with the value of gold. And also Pax Gold, you can get you can get a lot of interest lending it on many platforms. So imagine owning gold and getting interest on your gold. And gold's been suppressed for a minute. So gold eventually will go up. Now, I know they say people are jumping from gold to Bitcoin, but gold is still an amazing hedge for people's wealth. It preserves wealth very well, and it's proven to preserve wealth. Bitcoin is getting to that point, but since Bitcoin is still in price discovery mode, the volatility of that can be very scary. I would also say USDC. USDC is a stable coin, which means it's basically tied to the value of like $1 or $1. And eventually it's going to get tied to the value of a digital dollar. USDC tends to net you higher interest returns on many platforms like BlockFi and Nexo and Celsius when you lend on their platform. So, for example, Bitcoin, if you got $100 worth of Bitcoin, then and you put it on BlockFi to lend, at 6%, Bitcoin is 6%. So you'll make $6 in that year with your $100. But with USDC, I think it's anywhere from 8 to 12. So you're talking about making anywhere from like a 0.5x to a 2x like return on your lending. You know? So USDC for number 9 and for number 10, I'm going to throw one out there. I would say Dogecoin. Now, understand, I'm not saying Dogecoin to make you a lot of money. I'm saying Dogecoin if you want to trade and mess around with something that has, because the community in Dogecoin is so big that you just don't know what they can do with that. And who knows, and people just love Doge. I like Doge. I had some. I should have kept it and sold it. But, it's whatever. But anyways, see you guys later, and hopefully the videos get to the point where people make it through this whole video. All right, peace.